At 10:30 on BBC2, 60's Babylon takes an impressionistic archive journey through the decade that thought it invented sex. And at 11:40, Jane Fonda struts her stuff as that 40th century warrior, Barbarella.
Oh, it's sort of nice, isn't it?
Yes.
Now on BBC2, a film about the groundbreaking documentary series which tackles social issues head-on, Man Alive.
The important thing to realise is that people actually sometimes want to cry on camera. Again, it's a part of wanting to tell the world just how it does feel to be an unmarried mum or whatever it is that you are. And actually to weep is not necessarily any bad thing.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Do you take any contraceptive precautions at all?
What's it like to live like this under what must almost be a sort of permanent death sentence?
How did you feel inside yourself?
When you got married, were you consciously aware of the fact that you were marrying somebody with homosexual tendencies?
No.
Look through any window, yeah. What do you see?
We set out not to chicken out. And the 60s was an atmosphere that allowed you not to chicken out. After all, people were shoving daffodils down the barrels of rifles held by National Guardsmen in Washington. The largest so-called hippie encampments ever known were taking place in the name of peace and love. The Beatles were at their power. All the men I knew, including myself, dressed ridiculously. We had sideboards down to here, Mr. Fish ties, purple denims. We looked awful with those great flares, I think, looking back on it, but it was all a symbol, and we were part of that, of course.
In 1965, the spirit of the 60s swept through the corridors of the BBC. A documentary series called Man Alive was created to bring an edge to the staid output of the newly launched BBC2. Desmond Wilcox and his team tapped into subjects considered taboo by the previous generation. They dealt with human affairs, not current affairs, emphasizing feelings and emotion, not fact and opinion. For the first time, ordinary people were asked what it felt like to be an unmarried parent, or homosexual, or to be told they had only a short time to live.
It doesn't matter where you're told or even who tells you. When you first find out that you're going to die, it's a shock. Once you are told, you and those around you must face daily the problem of living with death.
It started in the canteen at Kensington House at lunchtime. And it started with an idea of why don't we make a program about ordinary people, like you, like me. They don't look any different, but they know something that you don't know. They know they're going to be dead very shortly. I wonder what it's like. You don't recognize them in the street, but you must pass people like that every day. I wonder what it must be like. So we went out and found a few. We went to a London hospital and talked to the doctors there and said, you know, you run a clinic every Friday, cancer clinic. You must be purveying a lot of bad news. Yes, we are. Yes, yes, yes. Well, we'd like to be down here on Friday, and we'd like you, if you would, to point out to us who you're going to tell the bad news. And I stood behind a curtain with this guy, and like God, he was pointing, that one there, the one in the brown coat, that one over there, that one. And on just instinct, I said, okay, we'll go with that one over there.
I think that telling anybody that they got an incurable disease, well, it's made me a different fella. I've always been a smiling fella, mind you, but I've got miserable just lately. But now it sort of took a load off me mind. I just don't care now. I want to do something, I say, within reason, of course, I'm going to do it. If I can afford it, I'll have it. It's like now, my mother says to me, what time are you coming in for dinner? Eh? Well, I'll come in when I want to come in, not because she's going to have it at 1 o'clock. I said, I'll see you when I see you. All right then, she said, I'll leave it in the oven. Or you can warm it up when you come back. See? Now, before I say, oh, I've got to get back to 1 o'clock.